Good evening. I would like to call the business meeting of the Portland Board of Public Education to order. It is Tuesday, May 2nd, 2017, and the Portland Board of Education is meeting at Peaks Island Elementary School. May I please ask the superintendent to call the roll?
You can find. Ms. Seeliger?
Here.
Ms. Vendil?
Here.
Ms. Hatzenbuehler?
Here.
Ms. Davis?
Here.
Ms. Thompson?
Here.
Ms. Morioni is absent. Mr. Eder is also absent. Mr. Rodriguez?
Presente.
Ms. Donato? Ms. Farah? Ms. Hassan? Mr. Siegel? And Chair Trevorrow.
Here. And Ms. Morioni did let me know that she is feeling not well tonight, and Mr. Eder had a family obligation. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For the report of the chair this evening, I just wanted to echo the superintendent's earlier sentiments about the warm welcome here at Peaks Island. This is always an exciting meeting for us every year. We love coming out here, and the meal that you guys put on and the tour and being out on the island and sharing this community with you is a great experience for all of us. So thank you for all that you've done for us tonight. A couple of just sort of housekeeping things. I wanted to let board members know this new spreadsheet of upcoming agenda items is now published on the website in the committees tab. This is what we had talked about last meeting with upcoming items that are going to be on the agenda. And there have been a couple of changes since last meeting. We are doing the Hall School Building report tonight. On the 16th of this month will be the NSBA conference report, the workshop on district technology plan, and then going into June, we'll have side by side, we'll have our vote on the district technology plan, and we'll have a workshop on the facilities assessment on June 6th. The other thing I wanted to let board members know, I am going to skip the committee reports tonight. The superintendent and I are kind of talking about, and actually Ms. Thompson suggested a way to kind of move things along more quickly in our meetings. Since our committees only meet once a month, it makes sense that we report out only once a month. So we're going to have committee reports on the second meeting of every month. And that concludes my report. Moving on to, we do not have a student report tonight. Moving on to the report of the superintendent.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As many heard earlier, National Teachers Day is next week on May 9th, and it's part of National Teacher Appreciation Week, which runs all of next week from May 8th to May 12th. It's a time to honor teachers, celebrate their hard work, and thank them for the lasting contributions they make to students' lives. I'd like to take this opportunity to gratefully acknowledge our Portland Public School teachers for making a positive impact in the lives of Portland's children. Over the next couple of weeks, my team and I will be going out to each building to personally acknowledge their contributions and thank them for their work. I urge everyone in our community to recognize our teachers and let them know that we appreciate what they do and understand that it extends far beyond the boundaries of their classrooms to impact who we are and who we will be as a community, a state, and a country. I'd like to remind everyone of the opening of the annual Portland Public Schools Student Art Show. The artwork for as many as 600 of our talented students in kindergarten through grade 12 will be on display at Portland City Hall from Friday, May 5th to Thursday, May 18th. The show kicks off with an opening reception this Friday, May 5th, during the city's first Friday Art Walk. The reception will run from 3:30 in the afternoon to 6:30, with the Lincoln Middle School Select Orchestra performing at 4 o'clock. The lobby area of City Hall will stay open until 7:30 during the show for the public to be able to enjoy the art. I'd like to extend a special thank you to Chad Hart, Riverton Elementary School's art teacher, and our district's art coordinator for organizing the show. We also are most grateful to the following people and organizations for their help and support of the show. Excuse me. The Maine Arts Commission, Portland City Hall's administrative and custodial crew, students and staff in the Paths Culinary Concepts program, Portland Public Schools orchestra teacher Julianne Eberl, and the Lincoln Middle School Select Orchestra. And of course, all of our district's art teachers whose amazing creativity and skill will be on display through their students' work. Tonight, we'd like to recognize Pamela Richards, the administrative assistant at the Peaks Island and Cliff Elementary Schools, for going above and beyond to ensure the smooth functioning of Portland's island schools. Being an administrative professional is always a challenging job, and the job is especially demanding on an island school. Pam, or Miss Pam, as the students, parents, and staff like to call her, is a 29-year Peaks Island resident and is the perfect person to run the office at the island schools. Pam has been with the Portland Public Schools for 21 years and has also worked at Reiki, Paths, and Longfellow schools. Pam enjoys making sure that all individuals coming to the school know where to park, where to get a boat ride, when to board the ferry, how to get a ride to the school, as well as how to find the school. We don't want anybody stranded on the island. It's very important to her that all visitors to the islands never feel lost or unable to navigate the islands. She works tirelessly to make sure the needs of staff, students, and parents are met on a daily basis. She brings a tremendously high level of integrity, professionalism, and an excellent attention to detail. Pam has proven to be an invaluable source of institutional knowledge and island-related matters to Renee Serio in her first role in administration. When Pam was asked about her favorite part of the job, she said, "I like making another person's job easier, and I love details." She also has an unapologetic affinity for office products. Pam is indispensable in her role at Peaks and Cliff, and she does her work with generosity, humor, and commitment to students. We're very grateful to Pam for her hard work and her dedication to our island schools, students, staff, and parents. Congratulations, Pam, on this well-deserved honor. Is there a mayor of the island? No? Okay, because Pam could run. So, on a more serious note, I wanted to make parents and listeners aware of a Netflix series called 13 Reasons Why that has garnered a lot of attention lately, and many teenagers have watched. Due to the themes of suicide and other sensitive topics, the National Association of School Psychologists have offered some guidance for families. We have distributed that guidance to all of our schools, and they're in the process of sharing it appropriately in their school communities. The series also depicts some adults, including school professionals, as being unhelpful and unsupportive. We want to be very clear that Portland Public Schools takes the support of its students very seriously and has professionals available to work with students and their families. Please reach out to school counselors and social workers with any questions or concerns. That concludes my, no, that does not conclude my report. Sorry, that concludes my part of the report, but I want to turn it over now to Sarah Campbell to talk a little bit, and Renee Syria to talk a little bit about the island partnership for the library, for the cameras, for the folks not with us this evening.
Okay, this is Sarah Campbell. I am the Executive Director of Portland Public Library, and it really is an honor to be here this evening with the school board and with the Peace Island community, and particularly with Renee Syria, because we are sharing more detail about how the library and the school will partner together during the construction. Please don't tell me I have to start over again. During the construction period of the library's renovation, we're very excited to have developed a partnership with Renee and the school so that the community can use a space within the school during the construction period. And we're looking at this as a wonderful opportunity to collaborate, and we're just so grateful and so excited to have this happen.
I'm Renee Syria, the leader here at Peaks, and I just want to echo what Sarah said. We are equally delighted to be a part of this partnership. We know that it's win-win. Win for our school, win for our community, win for our students, most especially and our teachers who are always looking for the best books for research and our new topics. Really appreciate it. We're delighted to be a part of this.
Are there any questions that we can answer at this point? We'll be sharing more details as we get closer. Yes?
Can we talk about the timeline a little bit?
Sure. This project, the renovation project, is a partnership between the city's recreation department and the library, and the city is therefore managing the construction process. It is going out to bid very shortly. It's in the behind-the-scenes workings right now, and it is anticipated that we will be moving into the school in the early fall, and that construction will begin probably around October. That's our hope, depending on what the bid response is to the project from potential contractors. And we anticipate that the project will last about 8 months.
Ms. Seeliger?
Will you invite us to the grand reopening?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And bring your friends.
Yay. Thank you.
Yes, we will be having a big celebration when we reopen.
Thank you. And partly we don't have a lot of questions because we just had the tour earlier tonight, and thank you for that. It was really great to be able to see what's going to happen here, and we're excited about it too.
And last but not least, we have the school success presentation by the Peaks Island Elementary School staff.
Before I start, I want to pass out this proof. This is hot off the presses, literally and figuratively. This is our school newspaper produced by students between the ages of 6 and 11. It isn't out. No one has seen it yet. There will be 3,000 copies on May 15th, but I want you to take a peek at it. And I have a red pen in case you see mistakes, because we're not quite finished with editing. Thank you.
Notice Ms. Crocker ran with her red pen right away.
It's already on.
This is my own Portland Public School graduate. He's a Castaway senior, and he's in a competition. So Portland Schools is done right by my family in a million ways, but this is our last one. Like that. Thank you for being here and for hearing this. It is such an honor each year to get a chance to talk about what we've been up to. This is talking shop, but I get to do it with you guys, so appreciate it. Last year, I only spoke about Peaks and what we were doing at Peaks, but I wanted to share a little bit about information about Cliff because I'm also the teacher leader there. Cliff is a rich place, a really special place in Portland schools, and I don't want it to be left out. So my first slide is Cliff. So who is Cliff? Who are we? 3 students. Kindergarten, 4th, and 5th grade. We hired a new teacher. She has a master's, amazing teacher, Michelle Turner, this year. And then in January, we hired a full-time ed tech, Ted Reiner. Both of Miss Turner and Mr. Reiner have long connections to Cliff. Who else are they? We have 2 itinerant staff people that come from Peaks out to Cliff. Music is once a month, and PE is every week. And they, a special collaboration for Cliff actually is the one with Long Island School. So on Thursdays, our students at Cliff take the Down the Bay boat, and they spend an afternoon at Long Island School, which right now has 14 students, and they have art in Spanish, and it gives an opportunity for Miss Turner and Mr. Reiner to have collaborations with other teachers. It's pretty rich. To be fair, though, honestly, equally important collaboration is the one they have through the Island Institute. It's the Outer Islands TLC. And the way you get to be a member of that is you have to have fewer than 10 students. So Cliff absolutely fits into that parameter. Some of the other schools are Matinicus, Frenchboro is one of them. What's rich, I think, about that collaboration is because they do so many things with Skype. These are isolated islands down the bay and all the way actually through mid-coast Maine, and they spend 2 retreats a year together, and then throughout the year they do virtual book groups and virtual science projects. Pretty rich and really important, so that our teacher feels like she's a member of a team even though she is an hour outside of Portland. And finally, if you haven't been out there, it's beautiful, and it is our only one-room schoolhouse. So Peaks. Who are we at Peaks? Here we are. We're K to 5, 42 students, 3 classrooms, K to 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I'm lucky enough to have our classroom teachers here. Zoe Ryan Humphrey is our K to 2 teacher, orange sweater. Savannah Marisola Sullivan is our newest hire, 3-4 teacher, and Kelly Muscoli is our grade 5 teacher. We have a little staff that we're pretty crazy about each other. There are 8 of us, and then we have 13 itinerant folks who join us either for a half day or for a full day, bringing specials and also bringing services like speech and OT. So regarding, every school success plan has, most of them have 3 goals. We are the same as most of the other schools. And we set this goal, which is a big one. All students would demonstrate 1 year's growth in reading. And here's where we are. We used something called Faunus and Pinnell, which is a reading inventory all kids in Portland from pre-K through 8th grade have to take 3 times a year. And we said, what's our data look like in the winter? And here we are. So in Zoe's room, 79% of the kids were measured either on or above grade level. And in Kelly and Savannah's room, 82% of our students were on or above grade level. What's compelling, I think, about that data point is that when you look at our MEA data from last year, the 2016 MEA data, 78% of our students in grade 3, 4, and 5 were either a 3, which means meet, or a 4, exceed. So there's a lot of correlation between the data. So that's pretty much where we are. Our second goal was math, and we decided to look at 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, and our measurement was really the NWEA. NWEA is a norm reference test that kids take across the United States. It's a 1-day test, and we take it 3 times a year. And we looked at our winter 2017 data to say, like, how are we doing on this goal? So for our 5th grade, you can see 33% met growth targets. 4th grade, 73%, and grade 3, it was 60%. A growth target is an estimate that the NWA makes for each individual student based on where they started. So they'd say, you're about a 195, it's September, by February you should be at about a 203. That's what a growth target is, and that tells us how our kids did making that growth target. We also wanted to look at, even though we didn't say in the goal we would, I want to say, like, how are Zoe's kids doing? So we used Envision Math Benchmark, which is our math curriculum here in Portland, and we said which kids are either on or above grade level on the benchmarks. 93% of our kids are on or above grade level. What does it tell me? It tells me we have some work to do. right? We're not there yet with math. Like, I feel confident about reading, but math, we have some work to do. The goal that we talk about this one a lot at Peaks. We are really using it to brand who we are, right? This is who we are. We want to be a green school of choice. I don't think it's the most important goal. I think they're all important, but this one's wicked exciting. So what does it mean? We write project-based units. We've done 3 so far, except what's unique about Peaks is first it's K to 5, the same big question. The big question right now is why does it matter why does it matter where your food comes from? All the kids, K to 5, are answering that. The second piece that's unique to Peaks is the big topic is climate change, sustainability. May 16th, although I had a student tell me it was May 10th. Anyway, next week, the Peaks Island Lunch will be as a part of the Portland Public School lunches. We're pretty delighted about that. Kids designed it through something we call Clean Plate. And Jay McLucas took us and said we can ramp this up and serve it to all the kids in Portland. Javier came out, gave us a proclamation. It was a very big deal. So, another piece that we're so pleased about is Peaks has become the center of where people recycle their bottles and cans. We've made $600 through Clink, which is really exciting, but the more important piece is that all that waste isn't going into the ocean. Kids know it, they live it. The environment, and she has been able to help us reduce our trash to 2 bags a week, and our recycling bins were increased by 2. We have food sharing tables here. Oh, this is good, actually. The After School Academy has a gardening initiative. I don't know if you remember Dylan. He was our 3rd speaker today. His mom said, you know, I'm pretty passionate about gardening. Can I run an initiative at your school? I said, absolutely. So right now she's planting she's raising seedlings, and they'll soon be planted in our raised beds. It's so exciting to watch someone else take that on. Very exciting. We're a partner with Peak, which is an organization out here on Peaks Island. I know my neighborhood, I live in Oakdale, doesn't have an environmental action team. At least, Lori, I don't know about one, right? But Peaks does, and they're a big topic. Of course, they're particularly passionate about ocean acidification and the ocean warming up. And so there are lots of places where our school and that organization have a mutually shared big idea. So we partner with them. We also partner with Chewonki. Our 5th graders go for overnight trips where we learn about sustainable school practices. Right now, because our 5th graders are pretty fabulous, they wrote me 5-paragraph essays trying to convince me, persuasive essays, on why we should get chickens and hatch them and then have eggs at the school. And I relented. So we're hatching them now if you want to go see them. And then in the 3rd, 4th grade classroom, which is Savannah's classroom, hydroponic garden was donated to them. The kids have produced so much surplus lettuce and now basil that we donate it to the food pantry every week. And last, so we consider ourselves a green school. This is something we're serious about, but we also applied to what is called the Green Ribbon School Award through the Maine DOE. 17 states have issued these Green Ribbon School Awards, sort of like the Blue Ribbon School Awards, but for sustainability, but we haven't heard back yet. So if anyone has a connection with J.C. Holmes, let me know. I won't go through all these grants, but you know we're small here. And so a lot of the work that we feel strongly about can't be funded in a traditional manner. So we do draw down funds through grants. And the 2 that I want to call attention to are the one that got us a new fence and also our After School Academy. So the second bullet down, we had a capital campaign run by parents out here to improve our physical plant. To be honest, when I got here, the school looked pretty tired. And when it looks tired on the outside, we're afraid that people drive by and don't think twice about the amazing stuff going on the inside. So we put in a new fence, we put in a new sign, we have art panels that were designed by an amazing art student at Baxter Academy that are going up in about a month. We have new lettering and a new shed, all we paid for ourselves. And then that second grant after that is we have this after-school academy that produced the newspaper that you're getting, as well as the gardening club I mentioned, and Lego robotics, and music after school, and there's a juggling club, and it's completely free for any kiddo at Peaks 3 afternoons after school. So we're pretty pleased with that. I'm glad Craig is here, because if I get this wrong, Craig, correct me. We were lucky enough to draw down money from the capital improvement plan last year, $500,000, and that was used to get a new, more efficient oil burner for the school, as well as repoint and wash brickwork, reinforce the gym wall behind us, that'll be happening this summer, update electrical systems, fix curbing, and then because of the partnership we have with the library, we're also getting new stairways. So we feel like Peaks is getting a facelift. We're pretty pleased about that. And I think you probably know, but also through CIP, both the Peaks and the Cliff Playground are getting quite a bit of money. So that was sorely lacking at Cliff particularly, and we're really delighted to finally be able to improve the plant over there. And you know this because we just did a tour, but we are so excited about our partnership with the Peaks Island Public Library. We're excited about kids having access to those books and those trained librarians. We're also excited about the foot traffic and folks coming by and seeing what's going on at our school. Oh, this is my favorite slide, and it's also my last one. So just like we set goals a year ago, here's where we are. Here's where we are. Now I want to say, where are we going? What does Peaks want to do next year? So staff and I sat down last year, and this is what we said, not last year, about 2 weeks ago, and we said, this is where we want to go. We need PD and intervention work in mathematics and Envision math. We know we can do better than we're doing right now. All of us need to get better and more fluent in Common Core, and particularly in higher order thinking, and that piece of instruction that I don't feel like we've hit quite right yet. We love project-based learning here. It suits us. And so we'll continue to do that. We're working with Karen McDonald, who's a former teacher of the year from King Middle School, and she's been our sage for sure, guiding us through developing, writing, and living these project-based learning units. And finally, one thing that we learned from project-based work, also called deep learning, is that it's really hard. It's very hard work. And I hate to say soft skills, but it takes the skills of revision and self-reflection and perseverance and persistent and collaboration that not all kids have. So if you want to bring that really rich and compelling academic work, you also have to provide kids with the skills to handle things that they don't quite get yet. And so the last of our goals is to develop, and we aren't quite sure what it's going to look like yet, a learning model here that addresses the social and emotional skills of kids. At Casco Bay, they call it HOW. At King Middle School, they call it HOWLS. I don't know what Peaks will call it, but we're going to do it. And last, and this one isn't, this one's such a huge piece of island life, is increasing enrollment at Peaks and Cliff. And I always tell this story about a priest, and I swear it sounds like a bird walk, but it isn't. 20 years ago, a parish priest said to me, you know, you always want more baptisms than funerals, Renee. And I said, really? Why is that? And now I totally get it. I get how that works, because we want the same. We want our island schools to be vibrant and full of kids. We have on the islands a problem of like an extreme version of what's happening in Maine, where the oldest state and our islands are an extreme version of that. And so this piece, increasing enrollment, having this school be a vibrant, amazing place for kids of Portland to go, is a big one, an important one. Thanks.
Thank you. Sarah?
On your last bullet about increasing enrollment, can you talk a little bit about the plan on how you're going to go about the communication with families in the greater, and if you get to a certain amount, how is that going to play out, lottery, if you have such a response? And so can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, first, that's a great question. This is the one I think about all the time. First, I want to make sure that Peaks and Cliff are amazing schools. And so people can say, oh, great stuff going over at Peaks and Cliff. So that's the first part. We have, you've met them, we have a very, very dedicated staff, incredibly talented staff, and we have kids who are really into doing what we're doing, but we're still building it. So that's the first part. And then we have to really look at removing barriers to working class families or middle class families that would otherwise live out here. It's expensive to ride the ferry every day. It's expensive to have a winter rental and then have someone else move into it in the summertime. Like, how do we deal with housing out here? And so some of these problems are bigger than Renee Serio at the school. I just know that a healthy island has an anchor of a very healthy elementary school. And we want to be part of that.
So I guess where I was leading with that was kind of like when we founded Casco Bay High School, or when we opened East End Community School and opened it up to the city of Portland for all students to go there. I was just more curious of how we're going to communicate that to parents and families and community members in Portland. That's what I took away from that last bullet, is that we were opening it up as more of a school of choice. Is that not what you meant by that?
I think that's a bigger conversation than me.
Okay, that's what I thought that last bullet was making it a school of choice.
That's a bigger conversation than me. I can't say between you and me because but yeah.
Okay. I know we've talked about it for years, so just...
Ms. Serio, you
Yes.
currently do have some kids that come here that are not...
We do. We have about 10% of our students don't live on island. Yeah, or have.
And so they're here in out-of-neighborhood requests, or...
Most of them have a parent or a grandparent that lives on island, and then they live here part-time, or they have a relationship to the island. Great question. But yeah, we do. And we're open for business.
But we don't have, we're not formally open as a school of choice. There's no application process, so it's not like the Many Rivers program or obviously Casco Bay.
Correct.
Where there is a formal application process. But I know that Ms. Serio is interested in pursuing that. There are obviously a lot of challenges associated with it, and we will
That's right.
continue to work through those.
Great. Thank you very much.
Any other? Thank you very much. It's very exciting to hear. I love to hear the work around sustainability, and I'm sure you will become more of a draw, and we can all talk about it in the community too. I would love that. Okay, moving on to report of the secretary. Consideration and action to approve the meeting minutes of April 25th, 2017. Is there a motion? Ms. Seeliger, seconded by Ms. Bendel. Are there any questions on the meeting minutes? Seeing none. Is there any public comment on the meeting minutes? Seeing none, is there any board discussion on the meeting minutes? Seeing none, I would call for a vote. All those in favor of approving the meeting minutes of April 25th, 2017, please indicate. It's unanimous with the students voting in the affirmative. And we are not doing committee report tonight, which means we're moving all the way down to board focus on educational issues. And I will note, we're trying to keep track of time here. It is 7:35 right now, and we're hoping to start our workshop at 7:45 tonight. So we are on the Hall School Building Report.
Okay. Sitting in, I think probably, if I'm correct, maybe Portland's oldest school, certainly one of our older buildings. We're now going to move from Peaks Island School to take a look at the new Hall School. And what I wanted to share with the board was just some visuals, and with the public as well, because we now have a pretty good sense of what it's going to look like. And the building committee's been working over many months to do that. We're also meeting tomorrow at 6 p.m., May 3rd, for another building committee meeting. The other exciting things that have happened is bids have gone out and been opened, and I believe the name of the construction company is Arthur C. Dudley of Standish, and I think the bids came in pretty much at or even a little bit below our budget. So we started out in a really good place. What you always worry about with these projects is that you put it out to bid and you get back bids that are higher than your budget. So we were really happy with that. And this construction company has had experience with schools, and so we're getting set and ready to go. We've done some some clearing of the trees in that area so that they can begin to work, and I believe actually they may be on site tomorrow to begin some of the site work and clearing and getting ready to actually literally get shovels in the ground. There will be a groundbreaking. I don't know exactly the date and time on that, but that will be coming up shortly. I'm sure we'll talk about tomorrow night's building committee. So this is the front of the building, and so you're seeing the front entranceway. I'll sort of go quickly through. There are a lot of schematics that show the layout or the floor plan, or we start with sort of the whole site plan. You can see the existing school, and we're building the new school behind it. We do have to take down a small amount of the existing school, and there will be a portable classroom that will take care of 2 classrooms, and the rest of the students will be accommodated within the existing school. So it will be a fascinating project for students who are interested in construction trades, because they're going to see it up close, right on the other side of a fence as that goes. As a parent of 2 sons, that would have been absolute heaven in elementary school. Trucks and things going on with building. This shows what it will look like after the existing school is removed. And so the new entranceway coming in Lamont Street, parking, separation of the bus loop from the car entrance. A lot of discussion about this. This will eliminate some traffic issues and also reduce the traffic in front of the several houses. There are about 5 houses right there that right now are right in the thick of traffic and pickup time and drop off. There are new fields and extensive playgrounds, but you can see how the school fits in. The actual maintenance area will come in from Purchase Street in the back, and that's the emergency and maintenance entranceway. One of the things that was done, as this is some of the playground site plan, is there were some large trees, which you can see one of the big circles up there is a large tree that was saved. We worked very closely with the city arborist to save and to almost design the building around some of those trees. And in the rest of the site, despite cutting what probably felt to people like too many trees, we were cutting the trees that we had to, and we specifically designed this to save some of the more notable tree areas and groves within this site. It's not an easy site to build on, we discovered, but we've made the best of it, and actually I think it's working out really well. You're seeing an existing oak tree, a lot of berms, and a very natural kind of play area in this school. And, you know, so a mix of actual play elements with just landscaping that will both direct children's play and also create a very natural environment for children. And this is another view of some of the playground. The playground for the younger children is in one area, the playground for older children is in another. And this begins to give you a sense of the school: entrance, gym, cafeteria. Going down, there's a very nice center area that I can't wait to actually see how it's going to be built. It's really going to be a hub in the center of the school, with various classrooms and a wing going out to the right, going a little farther, wing out to the left. This is a 2-story school. Younger children on the first floor and older children upstairs. This gives you a little bit more of a close-up. The entranceway has been designed with a lot of glass. We really fought hard with the state to preserve a design element, and it's, I think, going to feel very light and open. This gives you a sense, the kindergarten classrooms down at the end, the pre-K. So kindergarten and pre-K are in one wing. The library, that sort of center area, makerspace, music, art. And then farther down the hall, you'll see Spanish, speech, second grade, first grade. And then upstairs, we have 3rd, 4th, and 5th grades. Lots of classrooms, lots of small teaching spaces. This again is the front. This is another view of the front, kind of looking at it from the parking lot. You see that raised area, which has got the glass, and is going to bring a lot of light down into the entry of the building and through the whole hallway. I have a feeling this hallway is going to feel very open. Another of the larger trees is represented there that was purposefully saved. This is another view. So it's a mix of different materials, trying to make it look substantial but not look overwhelming. This is a courtyard in the back, which is going to be another really nice area. They've got it shown with some raised beds. The cafeteria is what you see in the back. You'll also note this building, it will be LEED certified, and so you see the sort of sunshades that are over the windows to both. It's been designed to maximize solar gain where you want to get it and minimize it where you don't want it. And so here's a representation of inside. Colors and things like that haven't been chosen yet, but it begins to give you a feel for how the hallways will feel. This is the cafeteria with the stage. Another view of the cafeteria with the stage. Nice glass throughout. Library, again, some windows. The site is a very nice one, and because we've saved those trees, really trying to have it so that you can see outside when you're inside. And those are the existing decorations that are on the outside. So that's pretty much the building. Just wanted to give you a little bit of a preview what it looks like. This is, I remind everyone, this is a state-funded school. The state is paying the very large bulk of it, and we're paying, I think it's about $1.4 million is locally funded. The rest is state funded. And that really, because we're building a brand new school, we're able to start from scratch and really design exactly what we want. And throughout in the building committee, we talked a lot about designing for the next 50 years. Not constrained by an existing building and a renovation project, we really had the freedom to design exactly what we wanted. And with the state budget, we really were, there were things we would have liked to add, but we were able to do really most everything we wanted. And the state has been great partners in working with us. It's been a real back and forth as we asked for things, and they sometimes pushed back, but we pushed back. And I think the building committee and the teaching staff are really thrilled with what this building's going to provide for our students. So. Any questions?
I don't have any questions per se because I also serve on the building committee along with Ms. Morioni. I just wanted to briefly thank Jeannie and Craig and Doug, as well as Oak Point. This has been a long time coming, and all of the work that has gone into this, and they don't miss any of the meetings and the dialogue, keeping going back and forth with Oak Point. I can't emphasize enough how wonderful Oak Point has been to work with. So that's all. Thanks.
Thank you. I would echo that as well, and thank you to the members of this board that served on that committee for quite a while. You've done great work, and we're right, of course, right.
We're not done yet. Tomorrow night we meet.
It's looking beautiful, so that's very exciting.
I also want to echo that, and I know that the staff that has been working on the committee, Craig, Doug, and Jeannie have also been very worked very hard and are inspired by the potential of the project. So it's been a great opportunity for them. I also just want to point out that we are in the process of setting up for the end of the school year at Hall. So we are going to be ready to go the minute that the school year ends. and Craig and Doug have done a terrific job of getting things staged so that the school year can end and people will be able to feel the sense of, I know where I'm going to be, my stuff is boxed and ready to be moved, and everybody has all of the logistical aspects of that have been worked out. And that's not inconsequential. That's difficult to do. In a building that size, things get stored, and schools being somewhat amoeba-like, things, holes get filled, and so having to vacate that to be able to move things into their place for next year is a lot of work, and the faculty at Hall has been great, and the staff working on that have also been great. And I know I've talked to the board about this and mentioned it in my weekly updates. There's a significant amount of work that is happening on an ongoing basis at Hall in preparation for the reopening as a new hall. And so there has been a significant amount of work by Principal Keniston and the faculty, as well as parent leaders, to really begin the visioning process for what does the new hall look like when it opens. And so some of the things that you heard this evening from Principal Serio with the project-based learning focus, as you know, Hall School has hosted Many Rivers for a long time, and that is a program that has been characterized by its multi-age organization, as well as by project-based arts integration, lots of connections to the community and strong parent involvement. And so they've been working as a community to figure out how to bring those elements that have made the Many Rivers program an important part of the fabric of that school into something that isn't an isolated part of the school, but is rather central to what they are. And so that's work that's ongoing. There will be another parent meeting next week on the 11th, which will be the third in a series of parent meetings that have included this same presentation, looking at the future building and what it will look like, as well as talking about the planning process. They've gone through a fairly extensive survey process. We reviewed the survey results at our last planning meeting, and they're going to be talking about those survey results, both the faculty survey and the family survey, as part of their meeting. So, I see that Bruce is here, so thank you.
Okay, so next we have just public comment. Where it is before the hour of 10 o'clock, we would open to public comment for any items not on this evening's agenda. Is there any public comment? Seeing none, we'll close public comment and call for a motion for adjournment. Ms. Davis, seconded by Ms. Seeliger. All those in favor? It's unanimous with the students voting in the affirmative, and we are going to move right into workshop on discussion around City Council orders authorizing general obligation bonds.